Welcome back, everyone. Before I get started here, you can see I've got a PRS type body that the customer dropped off, and the idea was to get me to cut the neck pocket to receive the neck. So in order to do that, I started with a drawing full length with a center line of the neck and the body, because the trickiest part is to get that very slight cant on either side. We are finally ready to make the cut. Now this is the central portion out of that full scale drawing that I did. I have my center line marked, and I basically laid that on there, and that gave me the perfect trajectory of that angle of the neck onto the body. Now I've used the humbucker pickup cavities to be able to screw this solid brass rail to the top, because I'll router right through those 4 holes when we do the pickups. Same with the front. This is the front pickup, so we've got 4 screws in each of those brass rails holding that in place. I've checked that fit. Happy with that. I'll give you a close-up of this tracer cutter and its bearings and washers. They will allow us to follow this very shallow taper. The plexiglass that I put, it's held in place with that 1 screw, and that 1 screw is right in the center of the pickup cavity. So all of these holes will disappear when we move to the next stage. All right, giddy up. Let's make the cut. Well, since there are no pickups in this guitar, I've kind of set up like this to finish all the final calibration. Put my little foam mutes in here to isolate the fundamental note. If you've been watching previous videos, you know that this software program for this clear tune does not work on the 3rd string. So for the third string only, I switch over to this Peterson strobo tuner. For whatever reason, the software on that ClearTune tuner doesn't work on the third string. So we switched over to this Peterson tuner. You just saw that the G string's perfect. We got open string, 7th fret, it's octave, 12th fret, open string, and fretted 2nd fret note. All those notes are perfectly in tune. So on this tuner, G, and we go to the 7th fret. Holy smokes, it just went right off the map. I go to the it's octave, same thing, right off the, it's completely wrong. The G string on this tuner is completely wrong. The Peterson tuner, it's fine. There's our 12th, open, and 2nd fret. So I just had to show you that because I'm not making this up. There's a total glitch in the software for ClearTune for the G string only. Now, we're back to the B string. B string's fine. It works fine. The B string. And the first string. I'm sure you can figure out already what I'm doing, but I'll just take it apart and show you. That is what we got. This is a DiMarzio sound hole pickup for an acoustic guitar, but it does the trick. So now, when Remo gets this guitar back, it will be completely done. He can drop his pickups in, electronics, even with no finish on it, it'll play 100%. So all the critical angles that you have to take into consideration when you're doing this, it's not just a matter of routering it out and slapping the neck on. You have to consider the angle this way, and we've got that perfect. This way is critical. This way is critical. We've got the strings lined up beautifully, either side of the fingerboard. And then finally, it's got to be right this way and this way. All of those angles are verified. The guitar is 100% playable. Of course, we've got the compensated nut as well. The idea was to get this guitar to the point where I hand it back to the customer and he doesn't have to tweak it. He doesn't have to do anything at all. The frets are dressed, crowned, and polished. The edge dress is done. But before I wrap up this whole job, I wanted to sort of back up a little bit and show you my little bag of goodies I showed you earlier in the other video. You have to realize that the reason people find it hard to find someone to do this type of work is because the risk to reward ratio is pretty high. In other words, the chance for error is very high. If you're out 1/1000th of an inch one way or the other, you're euchred and you can't backtrack. It's got to be done once, got to be done right, and that's it forever. So I just wanted to show you the actual router bit that I use, the tracer plates, and all the little engineered goodies I came up with to complete this job. As I mentioned in that previous video, I started with that full-length drawing to make sure everything lined up with a center line. Once that was done, I actually cut out the center portion of the drawing, laid it onto the body to lay out where the pickups and the bridge will go. The other thing you saw in that last video are these brass rails that were screwed to the body inside the pickup cavities, and then all those holes were routed out and basically disappeared. The other thing I did was I fabricated this plate which fit onto the Bosch Colt router. It straddled those two rails, which allowed me to cut out the neck pocket. So this router bit I bought from a local woodshop supply place, but the bearing is larger than the cutter, so we needed a flush cut bit. So this is a 1/2 inch diameter, 1/2 inch depth bit. I got these two bearings that I put on top and bottom. That's just a lock. That's actually smaller than the diameter of the cutter. this bearing got us started off, and then I dropped in and we made the cuts in 1/2 inch increments. Made that first cut riding that bearing along the edge of the router template that I created. Once we got to that depth, then this bushing is the same diameter, and then that top bearing is the same diameter. So between the two bearings, top and bottom, and the bushing, it allowed me to drop in increments and gradually skim out the cavities. So this template I made up for the humbucking pickup. This is a solid aluminum plate. Underneath I have the tracer plate for a humbucking pickup. I had a humbucking pickup handy just to sort of verify, and that gave us what we needed. So that allowed me to cut both humbucking pickup cavities in the top. This was actually engineered specifically for this job. These were engineered specifically for this job. I'll probably never use them again. This one I may use again. This, same thing. I'll probably never use that again. There's another tool that was engineered to do this one job. This is the 1/8 inch diameter burr that I use to cut the values into the leading edge of the compensated nut. And I think that pretty well covers most of the kind of re-engineering and stuff that I sort of made up on the fly to be able to accomplish this job. So the reason I go to all this trouble to make these videos, it's primarily for you guys that, like myself, do this type of work. But it's not just for you guys. It's also for just the guitar enthusiasts out there that want someone to do this type of work for them. It's important they see a video like this to realize what's involved. As I approach retirement, I will continue doing videos at a slower pace, and I'll be doing a podcast. More on that later as I get to know this camera a little better. It's just as important that your customers see this type of video to give them an understanding of what's involved. The smallest part of the job is flicking the switch on the router and making the cut. The real work is what's done to lead you up to that moment before you flick that switch on the router. Just hope you enjoyed the video. Lots more to come. Cheers.